What is up, guys? It is Trash Panda here, and welcome back to episode 4 of SurrounDead. So, recap of yesterday. We left the trader, came through, we stopped by the level 3 radiation zone, which was a nuclear bomb here. Got a little bit of loot from there, swung by the church on our way over to Grain Valley to finish off the POI boss. We took him out and we just finished it up some looting there. I did put down all the loot that we grabbed. We don't have enough to fill out any of this. I did get a chance to kind of go through and organize the loot that we do have. Now, on the way out, we did bypass a little vehicle repair shop, so a little garage that was over here. I do want to make my way back to that to see if there is a vehicle repair kit, because that would be nice if we don't have to kind of walk around. I really want to get that golf cart back up and running. This guy scared the crap out of me. Also, I did swap out the FAL for the CR308. We were getting kind of low on 7.62 rounds, and I had a little bit more 308, and this also has just a little bit more kick to it. So we swapped over to that. Just make sure. So we got you and then you. Okay. So now we should be good to come over here. So our plan for today is kind of dependent on if we're able to get a repair kit out of this thing. I hear somebody? Okay. I don't know if one even spawns in here. I'm just kind of hoping that we'll get lucky. Can I read that? No. Okay. Come on, guy. I was right there. Just finished it. Alright, sorry about that, guys. We had to run a quick reset there. But we are right back. And let's see here. Let's rip that. Go ahead and grab that. Now, let's hope this gives us our repair kit. It does not. Okay. Well, it puts a kink in things now, doesn't it? So, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and go over. So they did just release an update a couple minutes ago here. So we were able to get the update loaded into the game. I want to go over some of those items right quick for you guys. So they did add a new workbench, which is the disassembly workbench. I'm assuming that's going to be crafted from the main workbench. So with that disassembly workbench, it's saying you can disassemble nearly any item in the game. So what does that mean? I have no clue. Does it mean that I can, disassemble my CR308 here and will give me, rifle parts, and I can reassemble into a better rifle, kind of like Sunken Land, games like that? I don't know. Does it mean that I can only disassemble items that I've built, such as the workbench? Like, if I build it, I don't need it anymore. If I build makeshift armor, I can further disassemble that to get, like 75% of these resources back. I'm not sure. So they did change some of the balances of the loot items. Let's see here. So doing the roll has reduced stamina. So, yep, so that put me down 8% instead of 16, so they cut that in half. They did decrease the volume of the player footsteps and increased AI footsteps. So that has been a thing that I have noticed where walking around, here shots over here, walking around in a building, you will kind of hear your own footsteps and then you'll stop to try to see, like, was that me? Was that somebody else? Where is this coming from? Could be up on this road, maybe? We can go invest. Oh, I see the shots. Okay. So if they're shooting over here, they're shooting at zombies. They could be friendly. Oh, it's the wandering trader. Okay. Oh, did they kill the trader? Oh no. Okay. Doubt the trader's gonna drop any loot. So there might be an opportunity that we kind of continue down this road. Yeah, I can't loot the trader. You can wander down this road over here to this next little POI to see if we can stumble across the vehicle. Now the vehicles in this game, they do randomly spawn. So it's not like there's a spot that I can, look up and, oh, this area always spawns this type of vehicle or anything like that. It is just kind of based on, I thought, oh, I need radiation, that's why, okay. It is just based completely on basically chance when you load into the game. I think for the very first time, it kind of places those vehicles, and those are the vehicles you get. I don't have any radiation pills, so that's going to be a problem. Alright, let's press forward and see what we can come across here. I do need to go ahead and reload this. So yeah, picking up either an M9 or a G18 pistol would be great. A vehicle would be amazing. Or just a vehicle repair kit at the bare minimum, so we can get that golf cart back up and running. Worst case scenario, today we will be making our way back over to the trader to offload a bunch of the stuff that we've accumulated, and then kind of see what they've got for sale over there. I'm sure they'll have a vehicle repair kit that we can purchase and use that. Okay, not, oh. Oh, I accidentally hit R. Okay, so that's also the new thing. So loot all has always been a thing, but there was not a hotkey binding for it. So they did add that. So there's that. Also, There's a few other items he added in game with key bindings and loot, being able to move and reposition placeable items in the game without having to pick them back up and put them in your inventory. This GPS is huge. So, yes, it's only $30, but what that does for us is that shows us a bunch of POIs here on the map. So it gives us primary infestations, points of interest that, so these yellow ones, yeah, so this is a random event has occurred in the valley. Go and check it out. So these are abandoned camps. So we will get airplane crashes, helicopter crashes, stuff like that that we can go to that'll have pretty decent loot sometimes. Also, there are airdrops in the game that will just kind of like randomly drop. You'll hear an airplane go by. Sometimes you may see smoke, you may not. But with the GPS, you can pull that up and see exactly where it's landing at. So that's huge. Yeah, I heard you over there, buddy. I don't know. I guess if the GPS is the best thing that we get out of here, it was not a complete waste because that's a huge help. But yeah, maybe leaving here, going back to base camp, collecting resources, going to the trader, and making some money and making some purchases. We shall see. Hmm. Put that right there. And nothing else outside. Okay, so as we can see now, if I zoom out a little bit, you'll see my position icon. We can, oh, this is only for our markers. So also we can put markers. It's like if I wanted to go to this location, you can see at my top map there, it is showing. So you can just create waypoints and then you just double click on it again to remove it. So that's really cool. So obviously we know our base camp is right here. So we could just do, where's it at? Right, probably about like right there. So we just put our little marker right there and always find our way back home, even if it's in the dead of night and we can't really see where we're going. So this is kind of a hike away, which so is the safe zone now that we are without our golf cart. So at this point, I think I'm going to cut right here, take a break, go over to base camp, gather some loot, go to the vendor, uh, hope that we can get some vehicle repair kits to fix up. Yeah, okay, I figured that would be empty. So that we can fix up our golf cart and put some distance between us and where we're at right now. So I will do that, and then I will see you guys shortly. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see that smoke over there. I was on my way to the trader center here, and so these two airdrops just got dropped off. I heard the airplane kind of going overhead, and I was coming over this area. I ran up here, and I was just able to catch the tail end of them falling out of the sky. Oh wow, they're a lot farther away than it looked. So the red one, so the one that was over on this side is a medical. This one was a blue, which I think is food. Yeah. So medical and food, but it dropped right on that town. Uh, don't know if we want to roll over there or not. That's a possibility. That medical and food. What is this? Poor guy. Yeah, so we may want to check that out. I just wanted to show you guys that as it happened to be falling. So let me finish selling out this loot and then we'll be back. Alright guys, so we made our trader run. We did pick up just under $1,000. Unfortunately, the trader did not have uh, any vehicle repair kits. I checked. The wandering trader was also there. So I checked the 4 traders that are default there, the wandering trader as well as the black market trader. None of them had vehicle repair kits. So that is very unfortunate. But that's okay. I can just edit out any parts of the video where I've got to do excessive running and traveling and we're just not picking up any loot along the way. I did come back. It was super dark last night. I was able to just barely make it back here. Luckily, because of my map marker, it made it easier. Now, I did hear a crash that is up here. So it's a military helicopter. Sometimes you'll get an event where it is a Black Hawk helicopter, which I think definitely spawns better loot. However, this is not too far of a hike for me to make. So I think we're going to go up there and try to investigate that. We do need to gear back up. I dropped off. Okay, here we go. Obviously I dropped off a lot of the firearms and everything as I was going to the vendor to make sure I didn't sell anything mistakenly. Let's see. I also need to re-equip my backpacks. I unloaded a bunch of those just again so it'll be easier to kind of load up our loot. I think we're going to leave the FAL here. Let's see, where are we looking on ammo? Yeah, I mean, I have the space for it for kind of like a worst case. If we get to the point where we've got to dig this deep in our bag to pull that out, we are in trouble. Okay, so we've got everything that I can think of. I was able to refill my water bottles and boil those while I was at the trader. So we're good on water. We're good on food. Uh, we are not doing too hot on uh, medical supplies. Obviously, we don't have any radiation pills still. So, okay, we are going to make our way over to the to the military helicopter and see what we can get into there. We will be right back. Alright guys, and with the magic of editing, we are here. It was actually not even probably about a 2.5, 3 minute hike. Ran into one zombie along the way, but I was able to keep the tree line going and avoid most of them. My biggest fear really in doing that through the woods is running into wolves primarily. Secondary bears, but not so much in this area. Let's go ahead and, wow. Okay. That one I know was high. Those first two though, I don't know what happened there. I think there's one more. I thought there was one more over in this area. I guess this is our last one. All right. Always, always reload, just in case. Got some grenades, that's good. Oh, and we still got one friendly up here. Come on. Hey, you were a strong one. Yeah. There we go. Go ahead and get our water ready because this is going to take all of our water. So one of the additions or the update that just came out is empty jugs, empty water bottles can now stack. They can also be moved back into the lunchbox, which is a huge quality of life improvement. Prior to that, basically everybody would always just drop lunch boxes or drop water bottles because the frequency that you pick them up, uh, it was not worth them taking up the multiple slots that they would. 63, 30, 15. Okay, yeah. Sell that. 2 FALs, you say. And both of those are worse. That's fine. Neither will fit in there, I'm sure. One there. I'm keep accidentally hitting R, and I forget that that's the new loot all. So what else did we get? We got that. Got some grenades. That's nice. We will put you right there. Put the tactical laser up here. All right. I loot that guy. I did. Yeah, sometimes these plane crashers, they can be really hit or miss. Sometimes they won't have anything good. That is awesome. Sometimes you'll get really lucky. I mean, this isn't a terrible haul in regards to stuff that we can. I think I like the. I don't know. I'm gonna hang on to these. I'm not gonna rip them up. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna change that jacket out. So I think we're gonna go with the green vibe for the time being. Uh, yeah. So yeah, these could be hit or miss. Sometimes you can get great loot. Sometimes you can get legendary stuff. All right, got a G18. That is huge. And it did come with a magazine in it. We do have so just one extra mag. Oh, that's right. We changed our backpack again. 45. Okay, yeah. So this was definitely a good play. 16, 23, but this has slots. So I think we'll end up switching to that. We already loaded that one, yeah. Yeah, so this was a definitely good play. Again, we're still hurting because we don't have a vehicle. I think from here, what our plan is, I don't know offhand what the name of this town is. Once we get a little bit closer, it'll tell us. Let me see. I do remember doing this town in past seasons. Okay. Yeah, so I would typically kind of park on this side, do this sweep, do this section, come through. There are, on the backside of these apartment buildings, there's kind of like a scrap metal yard, and there's a primary and I think 2 secondary infestations over there. So that has the potential for a lot of loot. Uh, it's a shame that we don't have a vehicle because with those infestations and the bosses, we would not be able to carry out all of the loot that we could potentially get. Uh, okay. All right. Well, guys, I think we're going to call this right here. And next episode, I'll probably do some off-camera grinding and then do a little bit of recording if I can come across a vehicle because at the bare minimum, we're going to want to kind of relocate our tents closer in between this town. I mean, it's not much of a relocation to move it from here to here, so we can kind of pull loot out coming down this location, store our loot about here, and then make a run to the safe zone. In the worst case scenario, with the loot that we could potentially pull out of here, we could probably purchase a low-end car or just purchase all the supplies needed and see, like I said, I'm pretty sure somewhere in one of the workbenches there's an option to create a vehicle repair bench. So I'll do some research on that, and that'll be kind of what's in store for next episode. Until then, guys, I appreciate you watching. Feel free to comment and let me know if you have any suggestions for what we should do next episode. Please like the video, subscribe for updates on the next stream. All right, thanks. See you guys later. All right, so a little bonus footage for you. Uh, just ended the video. This is where the helicopter was. This is our town. We were just looking over that cliff into the town. And I decided, real quick, I'll just run down this little area, check out what's on the other side of the map. And I do want to show you guys what we'll be doing next episode. Straight over this hill, there is just a little house over here. And right here is our next ride. We will be a paramedic in the very near future, guys. All right, so we've got that going for us. All right, next time, guys. Thanks.